The title is Our Amazing Creator. We are blessed to know that we have a creator, and we're blessed to know who he is, the one God, the Father of Jesus, that is our creator. And we know that at least two ways, I would say. We know from the Bible that he is our creator, but we also know just by looking around outside, or maybe just looking at our own hand and marveling at how does this thing work and how do the parts all work together when it does work. And this didn't just fall into being or just happen over billions of years. Right, so let's look at the Bible first. We do know that he is the one God. We know that even from the very first verse of the Bible, Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And then it goes on to say how he created all the things that fill the earth, the plants and the animals and the trees. And then we also, there are many verses in the scriptures that tell us he is the one creator. Isaiah 44:24, it's God speaking. He says, I am the maker of all things. I stretched out the heavens by myself, and I founded the earth all alone. So he did it himself, by himself. And then one in the New Testament.
Oh, sorry. Can you explain the word alone?
Alone means the same as all by myself. When God says he created the world by himself, he created it alone. That means he did it and nobody else. Certainly not one of us, because as somebody said, the important thing to remember, he is God and I am not. And you are not. Anyway, also another verse in the New Testament that says he is our creator. Acts 4:24, that is the one God. He made the earth and heaven and everything that is in it, and in the sea and in the sky. So yes, we know absolutely that the one God is our creator. But we also know from looking around at the world around us, and there's an interesting argument or explanation that maybe you could help other people with, to show that this world is an intelligent design, and therefore there must be an intelligent designer who created this beautiful design that we see everywhere. And so that is the idea of intelligent design, which I did not come up with. I did not found it. What these ideas are from this book of Pandas and People, and I happen to know one of the authors is Dr. Charles Thaxton. He's a friend of ours. This is actually a high school textbook that he wrote back in 1989, I believe, of Pandas and People. And that's where these ideas are from. So I don't want to say that I came up with this, but I just thought this was a really interesting explanation to show that we have an intelligent designer. And it goes like this. So imagine you're walking along the beach.
Good. For the people in the room.
And you come across something like this, just sand with ripples, water marks on it. And you say to yourself, you know how that came to be. You know what caused those dunes or ripples in the sand. Well, the waves and the wind and over time. And yeah, that's perfectly true. We all know this just by instinct, right? But if you're walking along that same beach a little later and you see this in the sand, you see that? It says, John loves Mary. Now, do you say to yourself that this was created over time, maybe even billions of years, by wind and waves and could be? I don't think you say to yourself that could be. If you see this on the beach, you look around for an intelligent cause or an intelligent designer of this intelligent message, because it is a message. You would look for John, or maybe Mary wrote it, right? But you know that this had an intelligent designer, right? Because it's language and it's a message. So another example, kind of the same idea, is if you're walking in the woods and you see a rock formation like this maybe, and it does have lines in it, and it has different colors, but you know that this, pattern it's random. Yeah, it's a rock. And the wind and the sun and the rain and things moved over it over time. Okay, but if you're walking and then you come across this, which we know is Mount Rushmore, you don't say to yourself that this was created over billions of years or any number of years by wind and rain and sun. And you know that this had an intelligent designer because it is an intelligent design, and you know it had a designer. So we all just know these things instinctively when we walk on the beach or in the woods or see the rocks. And yes, if we go back to this one, John Loves Mary, another way we know that there was an intelligent designer of this message in the sand, not just wind and waves, is because it's language. Language is like a code. And we actually have a code in us. In each cell, we have DNA, part of our genes, but it's in every cell in our bodies. And it is information. It's like a code, which is like a language. And language doesn't just happen. It doesn't fall together. Code, information, like this message is information, John Loves Mary. It doesn't just happen. And so we could not have just happened over any number of billions of years. It's not possible. Nobody would want to get on an airplane that was not intelligently designed. We need also an intelligent pilot. So that is the argument of the intelligent design movement that perhaps you've heard of, that because these things are designed, there must be an intelligent designer, an intelligent cause, not just billions of years and wind and waves and random things. So you may have heard of that movement, and that is our amazing creator. Now, I came across this in a magazine about an ordinary bird that we probably all have seen, crows. They look ordinary. They're just black birds, not particularly large or particularly small. Crows are amazing. And this, I think, shows these researchers who research birds particularly say that crows' ability to remember people is remarkable. This researcher says that they recognize her face and they follow her car because they know that's where she keeps peanuts. She feeds the crows, but they know who she is. They can recognize her and her car, which is amazing. And then the New Caledonian crow, a particular breed apparently, it crafts hooks out of leaves to dig insects from trees. So it's actually using a tool. It's one of only a handful of species, including humans, that make tools. So crows, just ordinary looking birds, crows, actually are using tools, which is something that only humans and a few others, monkeys, I think, use tools. That's amazing. And this is the most amazing of all. Okay, carrion crows, another particular breed, I guess. In Japan, they figured out that if they placed walnuts in front of cars at a red light, soon the cars would drive over and crush the nuts for them. So they were actually putting the walnuts on the road in front of the cars at the red light when the cars were stopped. So the crows weren't getting hit, but they knew the cars would then drive over and split the walnuts. But this is an example of our amazing creator. And this is just in an ordinary kind of a bird. Well, ordinary looking at least, but they're apparently not ordinary at all.